Hello, Nicholas here. Today's episode, I want to discuss on something that happened to me this year. The project I almost walked away from, and the reason why I decided to go ahead and work on the project. Right. Um, this whole thing is a real life story. I just have to prefix it because even me, I can't believe how real it is. Um, it happened this year, around July this year. I had a client. I think last year it should be around October or so. Last year, that's 2024. Reached out to me that he wanted to build a project. He needed to build a project, and how much is it going to cost? How long is it going to take? The truth is, I had no idea what the project was, and I told him that it's not possible for me to cost a project that I don't have an idea what I'm working on. It's surprising me how people expect you to give a cost of something you have no idea what you're trying to build. It's so common. I don't know whether it's because of maybe I'm in this part of the world in Nigeria, but I get even up till date. So people just call me. I need a website. How much is it going to cost? And I'm like, websites have different levels, different grades, different stages. So what exactly are we working on? So let me not derail. Maybe that can be a topic for another day. And he detailed out what the project is about, everything, what is going to take to build the project. Then I told him the cost of the project, and he ghosted. He did not get back to me. Nothing of that nature. So I left it alone. Because personally, follow up, I find it very difficult to follow up. I feel like um if you are not serious enough to build the project, me following up is not going to change your mind. And I don't want a situation whereby I have to change your mind to build a project for you, because if anything happens in the future, you can say it's me that caused it. So I like to make sure that clients are working with the project that we are working on is the project that you want to work on, and they are ready and willing to work on the project, which is why I don't really do follow up. So I think the whole thing just died out, and July this year he reached out to me again, but this time around he was more frustrated, or would I even say more angry, than he was kind of like an angry customer. The first time we spoke, which was 2024, around the October time. But this time around, I could sense that he was more angry. So I asked him what's going on. He told me the first developer he reached out to before he, before he reached out to me October, when he gave the developer the project, the developer did not do a good job. It was messed up. Then after I gave him my costing, um, he said that he could not afford it and it was too high, that he could not believe that it's going to cost that amount of money. And there was somebody else that was willing to do it cheaper. When I mean cheaper, this person was willing to do it slash the amount I gave by 4, right? 25% of the amount I gave at that time, of that value is what the other person was willing to do it. And he paid the other person to do it. However, the other person did rubbish. He did not do a good job with the project. So he's now coming back to me again. And I told him that the value of a project, sometimes you have to invest in it to get what you want, which is good. We cannot just give somebody a project to do for you because the price that they offered is cheap. You need to be able to be sure the person can deliver it. But where we now start having conflict is that he wanted me to build the project at the same price that the person he gave it to after we spoke in October 2024 did, which was impossible because he cannot force me to take on a project at 25% the rate of last year, because I told him the price has even increased. There is no way I'm even going to do the price from 2024 now to 2035. And he got very angry. For he started sorting with this kind of developers. If people are he has gotten 2 developers to do the project. None of them has delivered on the project, and I'm here charging him this amount of money. How can he guarantee the way he pays me that I'm going to do it, that he does not even have that money. And I told him it's fine. That if you don't have the money, you can find somebody else. I don't know what it was about that statement, but it got him even way more infuriated, way more angry, way more agitated. It was like he's tired of looking for people. Like he just wants somebody that will get the job done. And it felt as if I was speaking in a circle because I kept on telling him that this is how much it's going to cost to get the job done, right? And he kept on saying he kept on saying he wants to pay me the amount of money that he paid somebody in October after speaking with me that took 25% of what I gave as the value last year. I told him it's not possible. That the same way he does have agency, whether to work with me or not, is the same way I do have agency, whether to work with him or not. So it got so back and forth, and I told him let's take a bit and let him cool off and let him think on it, because if it comes to me and my pricing, there is no way that I am going to reduce my prices. And it went up. Even I gave him like I think a 20% bump from additional from what I gave in October 2024. And he left. After like 2 days, he called me back again and he kept up pressuring. The same thing. He sounded like a broken record. Exactly the same. Yeah, I want you to do this project and I want you to do it at this amount. I do not understand whether he was not understanding me. I was even, at some point, I was even getting kind of angry with the whole thing. And I told him it's not possible. That there are people that are my clients now, I don't actually negotiate on my price. If I tell you the price, that's the best price I can do it. And if you don't want it, it is fine. You can find somebody else. And I kept on telling him, go and look for somebody else because what you're looking for, I cannot do it at that price. We spoke for like 15 minutes, the whole back and forth. I was speaking in a circle. I had to tell him, which I lied. I had to tell him I had a meeting in like 10 minutes just to get off the call because I don't want to be rude. I don't know what's going to go on. But in the back of my head, I've already decided that there is no way I'm going to work with this client because this client obviously does not see the value in what I bring to the table. So his whole focus is on me building the project for him at a very cheap price, which is not possible for me to do. It's really not possible because, like I've explained before in one of my videos, we as freelance software developers, our costing is based on opportunity cost. What that means is, if you take a project that is way below your amount and another project comes, you can get clogged up. You can end up losing money. Because some people ask me, how do you guys lose money as a software engineer? Since we are not buying any raw materials, we stay on the laptop and we code. We lose money based on opportunity cost. Now, and if you don't understand what I just said, you probably need to go and brush up on economics because opportunity cost is where we lose a lot of money. And trust me, I've lost money in freelancing. It might sound weird because we don't get raw materials and all those stuff, but you do lose money outside marketing. So I told him it's not possible because there is no way. It's not like I have free time. So I would rather just spend my time with my family, which is going to be way more valuable than taking the chunk of money he wants me to do the project for. Now, there's something that happened, would I say coincidentally during that period. I had a SaaS project, right? And in that SaaS project, it was doing okay, but people were complaining to me that they would wish they can spread their payments in 12 months, right? And I decided to implement it and I added the ability for people to spread their payment in 12 months or spread their payment in 6 months or spread it in 3 months. And it blew up. When I mean it blew up, the SaaS project blew up. People were paying because they could spread their payments in 12 months. They found it how do I say this? They were not all feeling like they are going to invest heavily in the beginning. And if they don't see a value of what they are going to do, then they can decide whether to not continue their renewal or not. So I just gave them the option because I believe in what I'm building, and I know that what I'm building is going to be valuable for them. However, during that same period, this client still, I don't know if you're still following the story, but I hope you are. The client still kept on insisting that I work on this project. Now, I want to tell you that in my mental state, I had already checked out of working with him because I felt like he's going to be negative. The way he was speaking, I'm not going to have a good experience onboarding him as a client. And I decided to tell him, okay, you've complained severally because it would take me like 2 weeks to get the entire project done. And I told him, you've complained severally about this um, um, amount of money that I am offering you for this project. How about we do it this way? I'm going to get this project done for you in 2 weeks. And I'm going to have access to all the login credentials of this project. Only me, right? And you are going to spread my payment, which I am not bringing down at all, in 5 months. The truth is, I knew this project was valuable to him. And I knew that if I do a good job and deliver this project, which I always do, he is not going to let the project go because he needs the project. He has already gone through 2 developers that did not do it well, and I was confident enough to deliver the project. I had no doubt that I would deliver the project. It is going to take me a short time to do. I've done something like that before. So I now told him, okay, if he agrees to this, he will pay me for 5 months. When we selected a day for each month, my complete money, and I'll have all the login credentials. So anytime he does not pay, I will shut down the platform. He actually agreed to it. He thought about it and said fine, because he knew that if he pays me the first month's money, he will just have to wait to make sure I deliver a good job. And if I do not deliver a good job, then obviously he will not pay me the rest. But the risks of him reduced drastically, and that's what we did. So he paid me for the first month. After 2 weeks, I finished the project and I delivered it. The first thing he was actually very happy that I delivered the project on time. I think that was one of the most, proud moments for me, because according to him, he has not had any developer that delivered his project on time. So I delivered it on time, even before time. I think it was a Friday that he delivered it. On Wednesday, I delivered everything. He tested it, everything was working accordingly. As I'm speaking to you, I think it started July. He paid for July, August, September, October, and November. So as I'm speaking to you, I've gotten all my money because it was spread on 5 months. And he's very happy with the project. He has all the login credentials now, and he's now comfortable with the project. And for some reason, we are even becoming friends. Because we talk more now. We have even done other things outside of this project. So he has commissioned me to do other things for him outside of this project, even on top of this project, that he wanted some other features, and he paid for it. But he's now more comfortable with me knowing that I would deliver, and he's actually comfortable paying me for my services. So this is all I have to say for you today. Is take with it whatever you will. Bye bye.